Tonight, Europe stands at a pivotal crossroads, facing a moment that could define its future for decades to come. The continent, long a symbol of stability and cooperation, is now confronting choices that may fundamentally alter its role on the world stage. This turning point is not just a regional affair, it could reshape the global order, influencing alliances, economies, and the very nature of international cooperation. The decisions made in the coming months will reverberate far beyond Europe's borders, affecting the balance of power worldwide. For decades, the European Union has stood as a beacon of Western unity, promoting shared values, economic integration, and collective security. But now, the ground beneath this unity is shifting, as new pressures and opportunities emerge. In a move that stunned both Brussels and Washington, Italy and Hungary, two key EU members, are openly exploring membership in BRICS, a powerful bloc traditionally seen as a counterweight to Western influence. This development marks a dramatic departure from the established order and signals a willingness to challenge the status quo. The motivations behind this shift are complex. It reflects deep frustration with the current international system, where many feel their voices are not being heard. There is a growing desire among some European nations to seek new economic opportunities, diversify partnerships, and assert greater independence in global affairs. This decision raises urgent and difficult questions about the future of the European Union itself. Will the EU remain united, or will internal divisions deepen? What will happen to the transatlantic relationship that has underpinned European security for generations? And how will global alliances adapt to these new realities? BRICS, now expanded to include more members, represents a massive share of the world's population and economic power. Its invitation to EU countries like Italy and Hungary is a bold and strategic move, challenging the dominance of traditional Western institutions and offering an alternative vision for global cooperation. Tonight, we'll unpack the reasons behind Italy and Hungary's surprising pivot, explore the potential consequences for Europe's political and economic landscape, and examine how this could alter the global balance of power. What are the risks and opportunities, and what does this mean for ordinary Europeans and the wider world? The world is watching closely as a new chapter in international relations begins to unfold. The choices made now will shape not only Europe's destiny, but the future of global cooperation and competition for years to come. To truly grasp the significance of today's headlines and the shifting tides in global politics, it's essential to look beyond the surface. The world is changing rapidly, and at the heart of this transformation is a coalition that's been quietly gaining strength and influence: BRICS. But what exactly is BRICS, and why does it matter so much right now? To understand its impact, we need to explore its origins and evolution. The group began as an economic alliance in 2009, uniting Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Their goal was to create a counterbalance to Western-dominated institutions like the IMF and World Bank, and to give emerging economies a stronger voice on the world stage. In 2010, South Africa joined the alliance, transforming BRIC into BRICS and making it a truly global partnership that spanned 4 continents. This addition marked a turning point, signaling the group's ambition to represent the interests of the global South. To further their independence, the bloc established the New Development Bank. This institution was designed to fund infrastructure and development projects, especially in member countries, offering an alternative to the traditional Western-led financial system and reducing reliance on the IMF and World Bank. Over time, BRICS evolved from a purely economic alliance into a significant political force. Its members began to coordinate their positions at the United Nations and other international forums, often presenting a united front on key global issues, and advocating for a more multipolar world order, one where power is more evenly distributed. In 2024, BRICS took a bold step by expanding its membership to include Saudi Arabia, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, and Ethiopia. This expansion not only increased the group's economic and geopolitical influence, but also brought together countries from the Middle East and Africa, further diversifying its reach and perspectives. Today, BRICS represents nearly half of the world's population and commands a significant share of global GDP. Its member nations are home to bustling cities, dynamic economies, and a growing middle class, making it a formidable force in shaping the future of international relations and economic development. The growing appeal of BRICS has not gone unnoticed. Recently, Italy and Hungary have made dramatic overtures to join the alliance, signaling a potential shift in Europe's relationship with the rest of the world. As BRICS continues to expand and evolve, its influence on global affairs is only set to grow. The idea of EU members joining BRICS once seemed unthinkable, yet Italy and Hungary, led by populist governments, are now seeking new alliances. Hungary's Viktor Orban has long courted Russia and China, arguing for pragmatic ties beyond the EU's orbit. Italy, frustrated by slow growth and EU fiscal constraints, sees BRICS as a gateway to new markets and investment. Both countries have quietly built relationships with BRICS nations over the past 18 months. Their formal applications, submitted last week, were timed to make a global impact. For Hungary, it's about sovereignty. For Italy, economic revival. This is the culmination of years of shifting priorities and growing disillusionment with the EU. The move forces Europe to confront a new reality. Official statements reveal determination from Italy and Hungary and cautious optimism from BRICS. Hungary's foreign minister declared, "We are building bridges, not new iron curtains." Italy's government emphasized economic motives, insisting it remains committed to Europe but must pursue new opportunities. BRICS members welcomed the applications, calling them proof of a shifting world order. South Africa, as BRICS chair, announced a special session to discuss the bids. Accession won't be quick. BRICS requires consensus from all members, making negotiations complex. The process could take months, with a final decision likely at the next BRICS summit in 2026. The world is watching as this unprecedented diplomatic process unfolds. The stakes for Europe and the global order are enormous. If Italy and Hungary join BRICS, the economic impact will be seismic. Both seek access to BRICS's vast markets and the new development bank, bypassing Western financial constraints. This could boost exports and investment, offering alternatives to EU and IMF funding, but for the EU, it threatens internal unity. Diverging trade standards could fracture the single market. Globally, it accelerates de-dollarization as BRICS pushes for trade in local currencies. A G7 nation like Italy trading in yuan or rupees would shake the dollar's dominance. The economic rules of the game are changing fast. Politically, this move shakes Europe to its core. The EU's unity is threatened as two members align with a bloc including Russia and China. Brussels faces paralysis. How can it form a common policy when members are in rival alliances? NATO too is challenged. Italy and Hungary's BRICS pivot complicates military cooperation and trust. The risk of a domino effect is real. Other frustrated EU states may follow. This could fragment decades of European integration and weaken the West's global influence. The EU must now decide: deepen unity or risk further division. The stakes for Europe's future have never been higher. This isn't just a European story, it's a global turning point. Italy and Hungary's move accelerates the shift from a US-led world to a multipolar order. BRICS gains legitimacy by attracting Western members, challenging the old East-West divide. The bloc's appeal is now both economic and political, drawing interest from the global South. For the US, it's a wake-up call. Transatlantic unity can no longer be taken for granted. The G7's relevance is at risk if its members join rival blocs. Global diplomacy is entering a new, more complex era of overlapping alliances. Navigating this landscape will require flexibility and new thinking from all major powers. Across the globe, experts are weighing in on what many are calling a watershed moment in international relations. While there is consensus that the current developments mark a significant turning point, the opinions among analysts are sharply divided, reflecting the complexity and far-reaching implications of these changes. The debate is intense, with each region bringing its own perspective and concerns to the table. Dr. Ananya Sharma, a leading political analyst based in Mumbai, emphasizes that BRICS has evolved into a truly global platform. She argues that the group's expansion and growing influence signal a profound rebalancing of world power, with emerging economies now playing a central role in shaping the global agenda. According to Dr. Sharma, this shift is not just symbolic. It represents a new era, where voices from the global South are finally being heard and respected on the world stage. For many countries in the global South, the increasing interest from European nations in joining or collaborating with BRICS is nothing short of a game changer. It opens up new avenues for cooperation, investment, and diplomatic engagement, potentially leveling the playing field in international affairs. Leaders from Africa, Asia, and Latin America see this as an opportunity to assert their interests and build stronger alliances beyond traditional Western partnerships. However, not everyone is optimistic. Western analysts such as Dr. Klaus Richter in Berlin expressed deep concerns about the potential security risks and the possibility of divided loyalties within the European Union and NATO. Dr. Richter warns that the growing ties between some European countries and BRICS could create fractures within established Western alliances, making it harder to present a united front on key global issues. He goes so far as to describe the situation as a Trojan horse, a hidden threat that could quietly undermine Western cohesion from within. According to Dr. Richter, the allure of economic opportunities must be weighed carefully against the long-term risks to collective security and shared values. On the other hand, financial experts like Maria Rossi in Milan see things differently. She points out that for Italy, and for many other countries facing economic stagnation, the BRICS alliance represents a much-needed lifeline. Italian leaders are increasingly viewing BRICS as a gateway to new markets, investment, and growth, especially after years of sluggish economic performance and limited opportunities within the traditional Western framework. For countless Italian businesses, the promise of access to emerging markets and fresh trade partnerships outweighs the potential political risks. Many entrepreneurs and executives are eager to seize these new opportunities, hoping to revitalize their industries and secure a more prosperous future. Meanwhile, a former U.S. diplomat offers a cautionary perspective, warning that major powers like Beijing and Moscow are actively exploiting divisions within the West. By capitalizing on disagreements and uncertainties, they aim to subtract cohesion from Western alliances, making it more difficult for the U.S. and its partners to respond effectively to global challenges. In his view, the United States must urgently rethink its foreign policy strategies to adapt to these new realities. This means not only addressing internal divisions but also finding innovative ways to engage with both traditional allies and emerging powers. As these debates unfold, one thing is clear: the world is watching closely and recalibrating its expectations. From boardrooms to government offices and from newsrooms to living rooms, people everywhere are trying to make sense of this rapidly changing landscape, knowing that the decisions made today will shape the future for years to come. We end where we began, at a historic crossroads. Italy and Hungary's BRICS bid is part of a larger transformation. Old certainties are fading, new powers are rising. Whether or not they join, the move has already exposed deep cracks in the Western order. The coming months will bring intense diplomatic battles and tough choices for the EU, NATO, and BRICS alike. This isn't just about politicians. It will affect jobs, prices, and the values that shape our societies. The world of 2025 is more complex and unpredictable than ever. The story of Italy, Hungary, and BRICS is a sign that global power is being fundamentally reordered. The ground is shifting. How we respond will define the future.